Hello everyone and welcome back to Farming Simulator 19. You're watching JCTV playing on the Xbox One console. This is Westbridge Hills Wednesday, episode number 8. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We've got some great news. Today is Harvest Day. Finally, the day has come where we can harvest all of this canola. This is just a quick look at our farm and what it looks like now that we've removed that ugly looking tree that was oddly centered in the middle of everything. Now we've got a lot of space to play with. We can add some things and make this farm pretty much our own. Let's take a quick run over to look at the canola field over here really quickly. It is, I'm almost positive it's 100% ready to harvest. And it is. It's fertilized to 100% there or thereabouts. And we can harvest this up. The only thing is we don't have a header for the harvester. So we've got to do that first. Let's run all the way back to the barn here. We'll jump inside the harvester. We'll purchase a header that is canola compatible with this particular John Deere T560, and then we will zip on up to the store, pick it up, and begin the harvest process. And now we've got a silo where we can store all of our canola into. Let's have a look at the headers real quick here. We'll probably we don't have enough for the $89,000 John Deere as I initially hoped, so we're going to have to go with the $49,500 625X and attach that to our harvester. So we're going to go and buy that. It doesn't make sense leasing it because we're going to be using it over and over and over again. It just makes more sense to purchase the header rather than buy it, and we'll just stick to crops that are compatible with the header and the harvester that we have, so we don't have to go and spend any extra or unnecessary funds on a corn or sunflower header. Let's just drive this bad boy back up here on our way to the shop. While we're on our way to the shop, folks, to pick up the header, why don't you do me a quick favor? In the bottom right-hand corner of the video, you'll see the little red subscribe button. It's pretty and square. Why don't you click that button for me real quick? When you're done that, like and share this video with all your family and friends, and then ring that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we upload new content. You don't want to miss anything, folks. The schedule is changing as of this week. Friday, we're introducing a brand new map, Rogue River, in a series called Rags to Riches, Logging from Scratch. So you don't want to miss that. That's Friday at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Along with our regular schedule, Monday is Greenwich Valley, Tuesdays Green River 2019, Wednesdays, obviously Westbridge Hills Wednesdays, Stranded in the Pacific Northwest Thursday, which will be wrapping up in itself in a couple of weeks' time. So stay tuned for yet another schedule change after that's done. And then our new series starting Friday, Logging in Rogue River. Rogue River, Rouge River, I'm pretty sure it's Rogue. R-O-G-U-E is Rogue, and R-O-U-G-E is Rouge. So we'll call it Rouge. I probably will call it Rouge River a few thousand times, but for now it's Rogue River. All right, so we've arrived at the canola. We are going to start harvesting. We're going to set the worker to do this, and then we are going to go do something else because there's other things that need to be taken care of in and around the farm while we harvest the canola. Let's unfold this bad boy John Deere harvester. We did run a Twitter poll a couple of days ago as to which type of equipment you'd like to see on our next series, which will be premiering in Thursdays from the Pacific Northwest series wrap up. And so far, John Deere is leading the charge with like 37.5%. So the majority of you viewers want to see John Deere in the next series that we start. So if you haven't voted, check out our social media links, and you can come and follow us on Twitter and search for that particular tweet. Cast your vote as to which type of equipment you'd like to see featured in the next series. All right, so the worker is now harvesting the canola. Let's run. I'm so happy I found this run button. We don't have to walk everywhere. Let's run back to the shed here. We'll jump in the John Deere tractor. And we will go and attend to the sheep. There's probably quite a mess over there. They probably need some grass and some water. And then we'll check and see how they're doing, if any of them are pregnant or not, or if any new sheep are on the way. Let's just zip on over to the sheep pen real quick. While we're driving over to the sheep pen, folks, don't forget to follow us on all of our social media platforms. I've already mentioned the Twitter link in the description, but we do also have Facebook, Patreon, Discord, PayPal, you name it. Click on all of those links. Come and follow us, make a donation, do whatever you want. As long as you are up on all of the news from JCTV, you won't be left in the dark. Also, there is a featured channel section as well. Go check out the 3 up-and-coming YouTubers there on my featured channel section. You'll see Mr. Deuce MS, Carl Johnson Gaming, and my good friend Crazy Simulator Gaming. Go and check those guys out. Like and share all of their videos as well. Subscribe to their channels. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's look at those. These sheep made a terrible mess. Food goes in your mouth, Mr. Sheep. Much like a 6-month-old child. Just making a mess everywhere. All right, that's all cleaned up. Let's dump this back into the trough. We'll see if the water and the grass need to be refilled. It probably does, because the grass was all on the ground instead of in the trough or in your little sheep mouths. All right. More food, more water, and still no wool. I'm guessing we have to wait until early spring. It's now day 3 in late summer on Westbridge Hills. So I think the Merinos and the Suffolks only produce wool in early spring. Hopefully there'll be a mad dash of wool production, and then we'll have so much we won't know what to do with, but we'll have to wait until that happens. It's a little iffy at this point. Right now we've got all this sheep and nothing to show for it. So we'll wait and we'll see. Only time will tell if our sheep can be sheared into nice wool sweaters and Canada Goose jackets. All right, grass is all filled up. Let's get the water and then we'll fill this up. All right, there we go. Water trough is now full. Let's have a look, see what's going on. That cleanliness will go up in a little bit. All right, so we've got 60 sheep. I think we have 40 Merinos and 20 Suffolks. Oh, some of them are pregnant. Look at that. Again, the miraculous conception, because we have a pen full of female sheep, but somehow some of them are ready to give birth in about 4 days. And when I say days, I mean months, because each season day is technically 1 month in duration, because we're playing 3-day seasons. So in 4 days, so we have tomorrow will be early winter, early autumn, mid-autumn, and then late autumn. And then so early winter, day 1 of early winter, we will be getting some more sheep. So we'll wait and see what type of sheep are born, because we have Suffolks and Merinos in there, but no males. So I'm a little apprehensive as to where these sheep have been. What have they been doing in their spare time? Have they been getting out and sneaking over to another pen? Who knows? All female sheep seem to give birth all by themselves. All right, so that's all taken care of. Let's hook up to the tipper. I think we're going to have to replace the tipper because it's just a little small. It only has a 21,000 liter capacity, and I think for all of the canola that we're harvesting today, we're going to need something a little bit more. So let's park this right here. We'll zip into the shop menu real quick, and I think we're going to get rid of that tipper. But we're going to pull it with the JCB. Let's see what's going on here. What are we doing? Yeah, so we're going to get rid of the Stera tractor, actually. What we're going to do is, because we don't need 3 tractors, we're going to get rid of this tractor, put $87,000 in our pocket, and then we'll go buy a new tipper. We're going to keep the JCB because it's the second most powerful tractor that we have, and we'll get rid of the Stera that really can't be used for anything. We can't put a front-loading attachment on that particular tractor, and it's kind of just sitting there, so it only makes sense to get rid of it. And now we're going to get rid of this tipper. So let's get rid of this thing, 21,000 for that. And then we'll look at, let's see, what can we get here? I like that. I like this one, the Trans Space 8,000. That one's the one with 35,000, and it holds everything, including snow. So when it does eventually snow here in Westbridge Hills, we'll have somewhere to put it. Yeah, I think we're going to go with this one. The Transspace 8000 with a 35,000 liter capacity. Perfect. All right, let's zip on up to the shop and we'll pick that up. Okay, so with that inventory move around, selling the tractor and the tipper and purchasing the new one, we're left with $92,261. That's more than enough money to get through the winter. We've got that maintenance fee down to $11,000 a day. And that's only because we had to keep the sheep pen, which is 19,465 days old and counting, which is causing that $11,000 maintenance fee. So sooner rather than later, what we've got to do is purchase another sheep pen that is new, place it somewhere, and get rid of that 19,000 day old one to mitigate this $11,000 maintenance fee on this Westbridge Hills map. So that is next on the docket, but we've got to save up enough money. So phase one of saving up enough money is siloing all of this canola and selling it when it's the most expensive time of the year, which I think is in a couple of days. It's not today, but it will be in a couple of days. Yeah, look at that patch down there at the end ahead of us. You can never depend on a worker to just drive straight. Always just does his own thing. There we go. Let's load up this canola and then we'll bring it on over to the silo and we'll test out our brand new silo. Haven't even used it yet because today is the first day of harvest day. Everything seems to be working okay except for the workers' sense of direction, and we'll just correct that later. We'll come back and harvest that stuff ourselves. Let's just fill up the tipper and then we'll drive this over to the silo and then we'll test out our new silo. I think there is like overhangs and stuff, nozzle overhangs to fill the tippers back up with grain. So we will have to strategically park the tipper under the silo so that when the bucket raises to empty it, we don't hit the top and it doesn't glitch out. You'll see here on camera in a minute what I'm talking about because this first dump I didn't do that, and the top of the tipper is going to hit the silo and it's going to glitch. Look at it go, look at it jump. Alright, so we're going to have to pull to the very end so that those grain nozzles are not in the way. And then, yeah, that'll be the way we empty the tipper. Who'd have thought there was an actual process to just driving up to the silo and dumping your grain into a grate. But it is what it is. All right, let's skip to the end of the harvesting process on this field. Here we are manually harvesting the rest of the canola. And then we'll just drive over, dump this in the tipper. Where is it? There it is, all the way over there. And then we'll drive the harvester over to the other larger canola field. And then we'll start harvesting there as well. And then we'll check and see just how much canola we got out of this field. Now, keep in mind it was fertilized to 100% on the entire field. So we're looking at a 90% increase in crop yield. Every time you fertilize, it increases 30%. So with the 3 stages of fertilizing, just makes sense to spend that extra few $1,000s on thousands and thousands of dollars of free crops. If you don't fertilize, then that's on you, but you'll make a lot more money if you fertilize all your crops through the 3 stages of fertilizing, or 3 stages of growing, rather. All right, that's done. Let's drive the harvester over to the other field here. We'll start at the far end because there's that little L-shaped corner right there at the end. You can still see the line of grass that we mowed. Still lots more grass to be picked up there, so the sheep really are not in any danger of going hungry. And we don't have to buy another field to plant grass in because we own this land and you can just mow the grass around the property you own. Free grass. You could probably sell it too, but we're not really hurting for cash right now. We're at $91,750 and slowly going down dollar by dollar with the employment of the worker, but that's okay. All right, let's take this over to the silo. We'll dump this into the tipper. We'll see if we can't get this one right and not glitch out the tipper when we get over to the silo. All right, here we go. I see a lot of potential for this farm. We've got lots of open space, lots of more trees we could probably cut down if we run into a problem. Let's go here. All right, we're going to tip right here, and we'll see if we get in between the nozzle. Does that work? Nope, it doesn't. Oh, look at our tractor. We're going to have to probably go right to the very end of the runway here. We don't want to cause any extra damage to the tipper or the tractor. The guy just did a wheelie while he was emptying the canola. All right, so we'll just drive the tipper over here and we'll just wait for the John Deere harvester to get 80% full before we drive it back over to the silo. All right, so let's jump into JCB. There's no sense in waiting, so we've got some time. What we're going to be doing is we need to plow both of these fields. So we're going to use this here, the subsoiler or the cultivator or whatever. It can be used instead of a plow, whatever the tool is called. We don't need to buy a plow or expensive plow or lease a plow. We can just use this. It is rather narrow. It's going to take quite a long time, but we've got lots of time because we're waiting for that harvester to harvest all of that canola. And then what we've got to do is lime these fields, but we're not going to be tackling that in this episode. We'll lime them another day. I just want to save some money. Maybe we'll lime them through the winter if we can, just because there won't be much to do in the winter months. So we're just going to go ahead and plow this up like that, get rid of all the overburden, and then we'll be ready to plant again. Hopefully it's day 1 of early autumn, so we should be able to plant some sort of grain in these two fields before the winter months come. I'm thinking either wheat, barley, or oats. I don't think canola is plantable in this time of year, so we'll look at that momentarily. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and plow these fields. It's fun, isn't it? Wow, just look at that tractor go at a blistering 7 miles an hour. That is something. All right, here's another load of canola coming into the silo. Let's see if we can get this one right now. Let's drive to the very end of the runway. We'll clear the tipper of any obstacles. Hopefully we don't hit those 2 lights up at the very top either. Let's see how this goes. Oh, a little forward, a little forward. There we go. I think we found the sweet spot. Right at the end, and we don't hit anything. All right, so let's bring the tipper back to the harvester over here, and we'll just park it. And I think we're going to look at some contract work. while we're waiting for this to be harvested. It just makes sense. We've got some free time. Why not try and earn a little bit of extra money? All right, so we could probably whip out a cultivating job. Let's see here. I like that one on field number 8. It uses the big cultivator and the powerful tractor, so I think we'll do that. Let's sign up for that cultivating job. And there we go. All right, field number 8. Let's go to the shop and we'll jump in the Case IH Quadrac 540, Quad Track 540, and we'll attach the Flexi Coil ginormous cultivator. And we'll drive on down to field numero 8, Ocho, which is where? All right, just down at the bottom of the hill and to the right. Easy enough. Let's head there now. All right, so we have arrived at field number 8. Field numero 8. Unfold the cultivator and we'll start the cultivating process. And while we're harvesting, we'll make some free money. Or not technically free, we're going to pay the worker because we're going to be flipping back and forth between harvesting and cultivating and siloing all of that canola, and also the plowing, and I'm guessing replanting once we've plowed of these 2 fields. So we just have to figure out what we're going to plant for this time of year, but we'll have a look at that shortly. All right, so here is the end of the harvesting process. All of the canola is harvested. This is the last 6,000 liters going into the harvester now. We'll put it in the tipper and then we'll see just how much canola we got from these 2 fields and how much canola we'll be able to sell come selling time. Hopefully there's a few $1,000s in canola. It's going to get us through the winter months, and yeah, we'll see what's going on. We're also looking at replanting, like I said, so we'll replant some more crops. Hopefully we'll be ready to harvest mid-winter or late winter, and then we'll go from there. Let's dump the last of this in here. There we go. Let's fold up the harvester and put you back in the shed. Doors are folding. There we are. All right, harvest day is complete, ladies and gentlemen. No other farms need to be harvested as well. That's a shame because I like doing the harvesting contracts. You do get paid a lot more for the leftover crops once the contract is at 100%. If you wait and sell all the crops first, then you get reimbursed for the crops. Then you can accept the contract money, then get paid from the contract. But if you do it the other way around, if you accept the contract money first, you lose all the crops. So that's not really ideal. So if you do it the other way, sell all the crops first, then accept the contract money, you get reimbursed for all of the leftover crops that are in your tipper. All right, so that's all done. Let's park the John Deere back in the shed. And then we're going to run. We are going to run. What are we doing now? We're going to switch over to the JCB. No, we're going to switch over to the John Deere, who's pulling the tipper full of canola. We'll drop that into the silo, and then we'll take a tally in just how much canola we have when it comes to the selling day. All right, for those of you who haven't played this map yet, Vanquish did run a update and fixed 99% of the problems that were on the map before, so no more floating trees, no more floating farmhouses, although I did have to lose a lot of the items. Let's check here, the canola. All right, so just about 128,000 liters of canola. That's a lot of money. All right, so as I was saying, yes, they did run an update to this map. Everything seems to be fixed and working great. I did notice a a glitch still in my Westbridge Hills map when you're doing the cultivating jobs, specifically only with the yellow and blue cultivator that they give you. It's still stuck in the ground and still glitches out a little bit, so you can't do those contracts that use those specific types of equipment. But for the most part, the entire map is fixed. Like I said, no more floating trees, no more floating farmhouses, so everything's all good. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to hook up the seeder and the seed tank, and we're going to start seeding that field that has just been plowed. Field number 16 there is the one we're going to be doing. Let's hook up the seed tank. You'll see the hose there attached from the front tank to the seeder in the back. We'll fill it up, and then we'll look at the seasons menu just to see what type of crop that we're going to plant. But first, let's fill it up. So we're not doing too bad. $91,109. 876. Those workers cost like $1 every second. All right, so what are we doing here? We can plant wheat, barley, or oats, and it'll be ready to harvest before the winter is done. It should be, as long as it germinates properly. Let's go with barley. We're going to plant some barley, and then I think once we set the worker, we are going to wrap up this video. So I'd just like to thank everyone for tuning in. This was Westbridge Hills Wednesday, episode number 8, Farming Simulator 19, played on the Xbox One console. You're watching JCTV. For now, this is us saying, see you later.